Thank you so much for asking for this information. It should arrive in your email in about 5 minutes. But while you wait for the email to arrive, let me just share something quickly with you because it is time sensitive. It is a one-time offer that is only available to you in the next 24 hours. And this started counting right after you clicked on the button to receive the information in your email. So I'm gonna walk right out of my property here to show it to you. Do you see the property right behind me? Okay, this is the property. Okay, this is the property that you see. Now I already have tenants that are paying me monthly rentals on this property every month, but the property is big and I can still add another 10 or more studio apartments within the property to scale my rental incomes even more. So this is where you come in. I will pay you a share of my rental income if you make a small investment in batches of 8 people together. As you can see here, I am already building 2 more studio apartments right here. Okay, to the left here is where I already have one of the tenants, and over here to the right is where I have 2 tenants in there already. Over here in this area right here, I have an ambitious plan. I can build about 4 studio apartments down and 4 studios apartment up. Okay, and over here on the left side it's has enough space to build 3 more studio apartments down and 3 more studio apartments up. And over to the other side of the house I still have more space to build about 3 more studio apartments in there on the other side. So altogether this house, this property has a potential income of well over 60,000 rands per month. Okay, but when I finish these 2 over here, my rental income will be about, with the tenants that I already have, will be right above 16,000 rands per month. So with that said, let me just get down to business and explain exactly what I am only offering you for the next 24 hours. It is a 3-year plan. So I want to make it clear to you that even if you don't have a home of your own, you can still make income from property rentals with this program. Okay, all that is really needed is for you to join, as I said before, a group of 8 people. All right, in this group of 8 people, you will all chip in a small investment depending on your pocket. Then if you do that, I will send out weekly rentals to the group. We will basically have a 3-year plan of investors. The 8 people will all also earn income from the rental property together with me. Now I want you to understand that all of the investments done will all go directly to rehab, repair, build new studio apartments, and even in the future, as we get more investors, to buy other rental properties. You know, here is the rental property that you saw just earlier. Okay, the whole concept of the program is to maintain the property in optimum quality to avoid vacancy. This is a business to me, guys, and it is very important because it is the tenants that keep the income rolling, of course. Now, something that might look alarming to you is this little matrix here. It may look like a pyramid scheme if you just glance through it quickly without analyzing. But I just want to assure you that it is not some form of illegal stuff here, because I am not asking you, I'm not asking anyone to recruit any person under them with this program. I will get back in to explaining this matrix in detail in a bit, but first, if anyone ever tries to tell you that this is some form of scam, then let me ask you, do you really think I would just give myself the liberty to show my face to the world, showing you my house? And also, if I was out here trying to scam people, do you think that I will be here making this presentation, showing you the location of my website and how to get a hold of me very quickly with all my contact information? Besides, like I said, I present myself as the head of this program, okay? And I am open for anyone to just go to my website and contact me directly. The reason I am saying this is because people who normally go out scamming people, they are usually not so open the way that I am. Normally these people, these scammers, they hide their face, and if you ever try to find out who the real person is behind on what it is that they are trying to do, you will never really get to find out who the person is. Okay, so with my program, this, I can assure you that this is the real thing. And as a matter of fact, I'm not doing anything different from what peer-to-peer networks are doing all over the world. If you yourself go to Google, for example, and search for peer-to-peer financing, peer-to-peer investment, peer-to-peer lending, or even P2P, you will find a bunch of these companies established, and they are basically doing the same thing that I'm presenting here. The only difference between them and me is that most of them are networks where they set up a website as a platform to serve really as the middle man. These platforms will work with the two kinds of people. One being the investor, such as yourself, if you decide to invest, and second, they also work with property owners such as myself. And as I said, they are basically just there providing services to these two kinds of people. There is obviously nothing wrong with what they do or what I do, but if you ask me, okay, I say to myself, if I already, for example, I already have my own website, and I can also write, I can also speak as I'm speaking right now in this video, you know, and I can do it all on behalf of my own property that I already own, you know, and I have my own plans. Why do I need to go to a middleman such as these networks who are just basically doing the same things that I am doing? And yet still these middlemen, you know, if I go to them, they will charge me a fee when I can just keep it all for myself in my pocket if I do it myself the way that I am doing right now. So I hope that you understand what I mean with all of this. That is essentially what is happening. Okay, they charge fees on the two kinds of people, the investor and the property owner. They also deal okay, with many different investors and many different property owners, because as I said, they are platforms, so they are just receiving people left and right, which sometimes this may lead to dilute their concentration and attention to detail on each individual person that needs their service. So they might not have a direct focus and attention to you, for example, as the investor, as I would have, for example, because I'm just doing this. I'm not dealing with many different types of investors, and I'm not dealing with many different types of properties. I'm just focusing on my own property, so it's much easier for me to have my direct concentration and attention to the people investing in my programs. Okay. And another thing that I have also never seen in these types of networks, or middlemen as I call them, they never ever pay good interests on your investments. For example, at most they pay maybe 6 or up to maybe 11%, as I've seen some companies in the US. Okay, they can reach up to 11, and the reason they can only pay that is because since they also offer the service to property owners such as myself, they also get a cut from the property owner. Therefore, they end up paying you, the investor, if you go and invest in the platform, whatever is left over after they first take their cut from the property owner. So that is why when you deal directly with the property owner, such as people like myself, I'm not going to be paying these very measly fees, let alone percentages that only come on an annual basis, because these percentages that they pay you that on an annual basis. Okay. And these networks, in my opinion, are not even doing that much better than the big banks, who only pay like 3% interest rates or 4% in some cases. If you were to go, for example, to a bank and invest your money in like a fixed deposit account, that's really what the banks pay you. Now, real estate investment, property investment, such as property like I have, they, in my opinion, they should be higher. But these networks, as I said, they can't do it because they are acting as the middleman. In my case, you are acting, or you are dealing directly with a property owner such as myself. Okay, you are already talking to the top gun when you are talking to the property owner, because over here I answer all of your concerns. Over here I am the president. Over here I am the emperor. Over here I am the king. And to make it even clearer, I am not Tito, but rather Michael Jackson from the Jackson 5. In this place, remember this place here, it is my territory. It is entirely my game, because I can sing it, I can dance it, I can basically do it all. But enough with all of this mumbo jumbo. Let me just go back to that matrix that I shared with you earlier to explain to you how much better your return on investments will be when you invest directly with a property owner like myself. So, as you can see, you can decide, okay, you can decide to invest in any of these 7 levels, 1 through 7, depending on your budget. Okay, and say for instance you want to invest in level 1 right here. Okay, your name will be added to a list until there is 8 of you in the group who have also decided to invest in this same level 1. What happens is that each of you will make and one-off individual investment of 2,500 rand, which will all equal to 20,000 rands, uh, with the 8 people, of course. And then once this is all set up, okay, what will happen is that you will be enrolled as a member of the program, and as a member of the program, there is a small membership fee. Okay, for level 1 is 220 rands per month for each member, okay, of the 8 people in the group. What this membership actually means is basically that you will have access to my very own private club of P2P investors, and it is basically an online club where you basically get to log in where you want, from wherever you are, from your phone or your computer or whatever, so that you can actually see and follow the works that I am doing on the property or any future properties. I will be posting in this online club videos and construction works that is being done, new developments, new apartments, suites that I'm doing, so that you can assure that your investment is secure. Okay, because as we all know, we want to keep the property in great shape to avoid losing tenants, and if we lose tenants, we lose income. So that is why I am basically making mandatory that you be part of the club, because I want you, the investors, to be there watching the progress and somewhat act as the assessors of the program. You know, you can point out things that may be going wrong, or point out improvement areas, and so forth. So, for example, a group of 8 people who are in level 1, this is the amount, okay, 801 rands that the group will receive on a weekly basis, one person at a time, until everyone is paid. Obviously, what this means is that each person will get paid once every 2 months, because there is 8 people in the group. In 1 month there is 4 weeks, 2 months there is 8 weeks. That's why I'm making basically the limit of the people in each group 8, so that people don't stay longer than 2 months until they receive their weekly payment. Okay, now this process will go on for 3 years until it expires. Okay, but when it expires, the group can decide together to renew it and do it all over again in level 1, or if they decide to move up to level 2, they can as well. Now, in the email that you have already probably received by now, it tells you all of the steps that you need to take to get started in this program. The most important thing right now is that I do not share in the email what I'm about to offer you here, which is only available if you act within within 24 hours of receiving this email, basically within 24 hours from now. And what it is that if you decide to invest, for example, in level 1, and make your payment, your share payment of 2,500 rands within 24 hours, but counting from the time that you clicked on the button to receive the details in your email, I will, and please take a look down here, I will take 1 year from the monthly fee and waive it completely. But you have to act fast, within 24 hours of actually receiving the email that you probably already got by now. So what that means is you will only start paying on the second year and obviously the third year. Now, the only thing that I must say is that at this moment, okay, I am only launching these programs with level 1, level 2, and level 3, okay? Since it is still at its early stages, I first want to have a feel on how the program is actually working and if it's well welcomed by the people in general. I also would like to first get a few groups formed and actually invested in these first three levels to see how things are working before I actually decide to roll out all of the levels in the program. Now, these funds, the money that you'll be investing, will obviously help me accelerate some of the new work that I already started in this property to add a few more tenants in the property itself. Okay, not only will this make the entire property even better, but it guarantees and secures that you and your group of investors will for sure continue to get their weekly rentals based on the matrix that I just shared. That is why it is very important to me to keep the property moving and alive in order to keep the current tenants happy and new people coming in as tenants. After all, this is the business that pays me the rental income that I can then pass on over to the investors such as yourself if you decide to invest, which I hope you do. So remember that you only have 24 hours from the moment that you actually clicked on the button to receive the email in order to take advantage, to not have to pay for an entire year of the membership fee. But you have to act fast, so I urge you to right now go check the email you received and follow all of the instructions to get started. Enjoy.